Hello everyone, thank you for watching my video. Today I'm going to be discussing the importance and benefits of gaining work experience in high school, along with some of the concerns parents and students have. So to start off, according to the US Census, more than 1 in 4 high school students work, but only one of them work part-time. So this means that 99% of student workers are balancing being a full-time student and working part-time on top of it. Although this can be a very heavy workload for some students, the benefits still outweigh the concerns. According to The Atlantic, nearly 40% of undergraduate and 75% of graduate students, college students, work at least 30 hours a week. If you look at college students working more modest hours, the percentages are even higher. This means that most of these college students are working at some point in their 4 years in college. On top of this, according to CNBC, nearly 40% of these college graduates are taking jobs out of school that don't even require a degree, and that makes them 5 times more likely down the road to still be in such a position in 5 years after, still working a job that doesn't require a degree. And I know I'm here to talk about high school students, but these college statistics directly reflect the experience gained during high school years. And I know this is a lot of information, so we're going to break it down. So something we do know is we know that at least a fourth of high school students are working at some point, which is good. We also know that nearly all college students work at some point before they graduate, which means that work experience in high school is definitely beneficial. Internships in college are useful to students because they teach students real-world skills, such as working with the public and working as part of a staff. They also give students exposure to fields that they may hope to enter as adults after they graduate. Without previous work experiences, in high school primarily, employers are a lot less likely to hand out competitive internships to college students hoping to gain that experience that they might have missed out on earlier in their lives. We also know that many college graduates are ill-prepared to take full-time jobs in their own majors, and this either reflects their lack of work experience or dedication to their major. On top of the physical act of working and gaining experience, learning how to manage your own money in high school is also extremely valuable. According to the College Board, most college students at a 4-year university have a budget of only a little over $2,000 per year. And that's actually not that much when you think about it, because it includes expenses for food, clothes, and entertainment. So that all has to last them an entire year. So we know that students have budgets and they're forced to manage their money as such. So therefore, learning how to manage money is vital for success in college. Now I'm going to show you an interview I conducted with my good friend Ryan Terrell.
So Ryan, when did you start working?
So I started working, I was 15, my sophomore year.
And what was your first job?
First job was in a Mexican restaurant.
All right. Did you, when you first started working, did you ever experience some issues that made it hard to get schoolwork done or other outside activities?
Yeah, definitely. Like even this week, like today, actually, I have 2 really important tests, but last night I worked, so it kind of made it more difficult for me to study. So that's how work can get in the way of school.
Did it ever affect like your sleep schedule, or did you ever feel like you were working too much?
I never felt I was working too much because I feel like I have a good boss who can understand that I'm like a high school student and I have more important things than working.
And do you think that as high school students, having a job is important for our future and our life beyond high school?
I think it can definitely prepare you for a job in the workplace, and it just kind of can acclimate you to, it's not a word, is it? Acclimate?
Yeah.
To working with employees and working with your boss.
So after the conclusion of that first interview, we know that Ryan's an accurate representation of a student who does a very good job managing his schoolwork with the hours he puts in at his job. As a student, graduating from high school usually signifies the end of complete support by your parents, typically. In college, navigating school and work can be very difficult without vital experiences that come with having a job, learning how to live on your own. However, not all students manage their time as efficiently as Ryan does. According to a study conducted by the University of Concordia, Portland, students who work more than 15 to 20 hours per week see a drastic decrease in academic performance. If students are overcompensating to finish homework and losing sleep as a consequence, their attention and ability to retain information will be affected in the classroom. In light of these facts, refraining our kids from working is definitely not the answer. We must teach students how to manage their time more efficiently in school. The education process is strictly impeded by working too many hours, caused by a lack of time for students to spend doing homework, extracurriculars, and getting enough sleep. Next, I spoke with Alex, who has taken a different approach to balancing work and school efficiently.
So where do you work now?
Westwood Country Club.
And how long have you been working there?
4 or 5 years now.
Do you work there only over the summer or during the summer and the school year?
I usually work there only over the summer, but sometimes I'll work there in the school year.
And do you only work over the summer because you have some other conflicts?
Yeah, during the winter I have school, but I also have soccer. So.
And have you ever felt that work interferes with that and would help
Oh yeah, big time. I feel like when I before soccer to wear me out, and also it impedes my schoolwork.
Have you ever noticed or had issues with a sleeping schedule or getting to bed on time?
My at my job we have to wake up at 4 o'clock to get there at 5.
So do you believe that as high schoolers, having a job in high school is valuable to us after graduation?
I think it teaches for me it definitely teaches me patience, working with members, because they're super mean to me. So.
So let's debrief that interview we had with Alex. As a student who is committed to a university to play soccer, his success on the field would have never been possible with extreme hours at work weighing him down. This is why Alex chooses to work only during the summer, still gaining work experience, but leaving the school year to focus on his grades and athletics. This is a useful strategy for students who don't have to worry about paying bills each month, such as for their car or their cell phone. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, schools offer extracurricular activities because they are beneficial to students' success in the classroom. So we know that extracurricular activities are very important. These activities offer students opportunities to learn values of teamwork, individual and group responsibility, physical strength and endurance, competition, diversity, and a sense of culture and community. Extracurricular activities offer students an outlet to use skills they've learned in class in a real-world setting. Recent studies have shown that participation in school activities may actually increase student engagement and attention in the classroom. For these reasons, Alex's approach to balancing school and work is the best strategy for high school athletes, hands down. Next, I'll go over the mindset of parents and how they contrast to the experts' research. Typically, we see two different extreme parental views of working in high school. One of these views is to put too much responsibility on kids. Parents believe it's beneficial to make their students pay for themselves, such as for their car insurance or a phone bill. This goes hand in foot with striving to push students to work harder or, moreover, in order to make more money to pay for such tangible objects. However, it's not our parents' fault. One of the causes is the fact that many parents simply don't understand the stressful nature of being in high school. The second view, on the other side of the spectrum, another extreme, is parents give their students way too much free time and little responsibility. Some high schoolers are experiencing a parental strategy that focuses too much effort on academics and not enough, if not any, on any other life experiences. Students aren't pushed to participate in some form of activity outside of school, and these students are putting themselves at a disadvantage after high school. Once again, most parents do not fall into these categories, but somewhere in the middle. These points of view are extremities on either side of the belief spectrum. In light of these points, I sat down with my own dad, who I believe has a pretty good understanding of how high school students should be spending most of their time.
So do you think that it is valuable for students to have a job in high school, and why?
Yes, I think it's very valuable. I think it teaches them responsibility. I think it teaches them how to be respectful to their boss and to their coworkers and also the customers. I think it teaches them a sense of teamwork. And I think it also teaches them just how to handle their money. So it teaches them how to, that they earn money, they can save it, and how to then spend it responsibly.
Do you think it's important to employers that students in college who are applying for higher level jobs have held jobs in high school?
Yes, I think it's important to employers. I think that it's important for them to see that you've been working, that you have some work experience. No matter what job you do, you're going to learn different things, learn, responsibility, how to work with others, no matter what you're doing, and how to be a team player. And so students would learn that doing any job, and I think every employer would like to, when they hire somebody, like to see that they have some past work history.
Do you believe that working too many hours per week is harmful to a student's education?
Absolutely. Working too many hours means students have less time to do homework, less time for sleep, less time to do other high school activities that kids should be involved in, whether it's sports, whatever the activities may be. Working too many hours creates a lot of stress on kids that they shouldn't be going through at this time in their lives. Working too many hours means kids have less time to be with their friends. So those are all things that are important to kids that help develop students. So working too many hours is not good. There needs to be a balance. I think kids shouldn't work really more than 15 hours per week. High school is still time for kids to be kids. They got the rest of their life to work. So yes, I think limiting it to 15, 20 hours at the max.
Although working minimal hours while maximizing free time and studying isn't necessarily realistic, the optimal workload would balance all three equally. Now that we've seen a typical perspective from a parent that represents the general beliefs of most adults, it's time to attempt to understand the other, or the subconscious reasoning behind some of the problems caused by job responsibilities in high school. On top of some subconscious reasoning, what cultural or societal patterns affect these same problems? To start, we know that dropout rates are higher among low-income families. That's just a fact. Although we're not necessarily talking about dropouts, rather decrease in academic performance, these rates are correlational to overall academic success. According to the National Center for Educational Statistics, the dropout rates for 15 to 24-year-olds in the lowest income quarter are almost 4% higher than those in the highest income quarter, meaning all four lower class, middle class, upper middle class, and then the top 15% broken down into quarters. So one of the reasons why students from low-income families are struggling to perform academically is the fact that they're forced to help provide for their family. Food and other necessities come before school. Another major cause for academic struggle is one that is more in the student's control and can be more easily fixed or learned. Procrastination and inefficient workload management contribute directly to academic struggle. This is a problem coupled with other job responsibilities that can cause students to fall behind in their studies. Poor study habits are not always the student's fault, however. Many fall into bad habits early in their educational careers, allowing it to carry over into high school when the workload is a lot heavier. But figuring out the best strategies for holding jobs in high school has always been my main strategy. However, researching some of the main contributors to struggles in the classroom has helped me to determine who these strategies will work best for. So thank you for coming, and I hope this changed or reinforced your view of teen employment in high school.